Hello friends, it's Karla back today with Creative Scrapbooker magazine. Today we are going to make a beautiful mixed media card using IndigoBlu supplies as well as some other fun products I'll let you have a look at. So this is the IndigoBlu stamp set. It's called Floral Fantasy. It's a red rubber stamp set, which if you've stamped with red rubber, you know how lovely that is to stamp and how beautiful an image you get. We also have the Ragtime cotton rag paper, which is a handmade paper. You get 4 of these journals that can open up, and I like to cut them up. So we also have the Luscious pigment powders. They are beautiful and sparkly, and that's going to give our image this sparkly look. These are from the Fairy Tale collection. We have Hansel, Pied Piper, Gretel, and Rapunzel. Some really fun names there. And then we have the matte paint from the IndigoBlu line, the Artist Matte Acrylic Paint, and we have Barney Purple and Yellow Submarine. We also have the archival inks. We've got Scrapbook Adhesives from 3L. We have OLFA Crafts scissors. We've got some Simple Stories enamel dots, and the Unity stamps dies. These ones are the scallops and rectangle nesting dies. So we're going to start out by cutting a piece of that beautiful ragtime paper, and we are going to stamp this lilac image from the Floral Fantasy. I'm using the Dilutions Ranger archival ink. It's a black ink, and it is permanent so that when we use the watercolor on top of it, we know that it's not going to smear. I'm then going to go ahead and die cut that. It's almost like a watercolor paper, and I've die cut the image out, and now I'm going to paint with these beautiful Luscious powders. So I like to add them to my craft mat on the table there, and I've got a dry paintbrush. I'm pulling out the powder and I'm tapping it onto the craft mat and then just wiping it off on that cloth that you saw. So the blue and the pink are going to mix to make the pretty purple color, and then I'm just putting the other 2 colors, the green and the gold, a little bit separate. And these are going to make a really beautiful watercolor that is lovely and shimmery. So you can add some drops of water with a mister. The more water that you add, the more diluted the color is going to be. And so you just have to figure out how dark or how light you want the color. But it is semi-translucent, so you are still going to see that stamped image underneath, which is really nice. So then I just take my paintbrush and I rinse it off in between adding the colors over top of the stamped image. It does soften that black a little bit because you have that mica powder in the Luscious powders. And you're just going to get a really lovely shimmery image. It doesn't take long to fill that in, and that handmade paper really takes the water and the Luscious powders nicely. I have my Ranger heat tool, and I really am liking this for drying in between layers. You can emboss with it as well. I find that it is a little more diffused than like a heat gun, and I'm really just loving using it with any kind of mixed media or layers of paint. And here I'm adding the green to color the leaves. So I wanted to make sure that my paper was just a little bit dry in between because the green and the purple are touching and I didn't want them to mix a whole lot. I love that you have shading on these stamped images, so you really do get a variation in look. And you can see that beautiful shimmer. Now I have another piece of the ragtime paper, and I'm going to use the Artist Matte paint. It's acrylic paint. I'm adding a little bit of water to the background. This paint is really nice. It's really pigmented, and so it's going to have a lot of color. So I wanted a little bit of water on the background just to soften that color. And I'm just adding some of the yellow on the top and then a little bit of the purple, and it blends in the center too. So you can mix these colors just like you could the Luscious powders to achieve whatever color you're looking for. Now I'm going to stamp the butterfly from that set, and again using the archival ink, and it just has a really nice beautiful color and bright. And then I'm going to cut that out with the OLFA scissors, which are really nice and sharp. Just make sure you move your paper instead of trying to move your scissors around, and you'll get a nice even cut. So I'm trimming that out, and it has almost a bit of a canvas feel. It's just such a nice paper. Now I'm taking one of the sentiments that is also included in the set, and I'm going to stamp that on just some purple paper from Echo Park paper. It's double-sided cardstock here, and I really like the purple color and felt like it went really well with the Luscious powders that we put on the lilacs. And then I'm just trimming out the words and adding a little bit of the bubblegum pink Dilutions ink. This is again the archival ink from Ranger, and I used a base of Creative Scrapbooker Superstock, which is very nice and thick and works so well for card bases. I'm using the Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L tape runner. It is nice and sticky, and I don't have to worry about anything falling off. And you can see here that my tape runner ran out, so I thought what the perfect time to show you how quick and easy you can change out the insert. So these come with refills. You just pop it in, put your cover back on, and you're good to go. And then I'm just pressing it from the back just to make sure everything's adhered. That scallop is also from the Unity stamp set, or sorry, the Unity die set. And then I'm placing my sentiment on to get the placement right before I glue it down. Then I can use the tape runner to adhere that right directly onto the card front. Now my butterfly, I do want to pop it up, so I have some foam circles, again from Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L. They're really nice and sticky, and they're going to keep that butterfly on there. And we have the enamel dots from Simple Stories, and they're shimmery, really pretty. I love the way the colors match the colors that we used on this card. So here's a look at that pretty card. You can see the shimmer in the light. Really love how this turned out. I hope that you'll check out some of these products and companies, and thank you so much for taking your time to watch. I hope you have a very crafty day.